Today I'm going to be starting a brand new series, and that brand new series is called Harsh Reviews. These reviews will point out how I really feel about a game without there being too much of a bias because maybe I like a game or because I like the series that the game is from. Today, I'm going to be starting with the game that I have wanted the most out of any other game, and that is Mario Party Superstars. Mario Party has been one of, if not my favorite series of games since I was just beginning to play them. So, what better way to start the series than to go back to what I know best? If you guys enjoy these types of videos and you want me to do the old Mario Parties as well, then leave a like on the video because that's the best way to let me know how you feel about this. Also, aside from Mario Parties, give me some other ideas of games that I could do. Lastly, if you're new, consider subscribing if you want to see all of the uploads that I plan on doing in the future, and of course, to check out the stuff that I've done before. So, the way that I'm going to be doing the reviews for Mario Party is probably going to be a little different than how others might. Just to quickly run down how everything is going to work, for minigames, I'm going to be giving each one that I enjoy 1 point. Each board, I will be ranking out of 5 points. The items for the diversity, the prices, the amount of them, the different variety, just everything will be worth 10 points. And all of the other features, such as the online, the minigame modes, and just all the extra little things that can be in any of the Mario Parties will add up to 20 points. But that is how the ranking will work, and once everything is fully rated, they'll be added up and divided to give us the rank out of 10. However, if there is anything about these that you may have questions about or you want to maybe have me change down in the future, let me know that down in the comments. But with that all being out of the way, let's get into it. So, the first thing that I want to start with are the minigames. There are honestly some really good ones from each of the games. However, when we start getting to the Mario Parties from about 6 onwards, there are unfortunately less and less from each of them. And then some of the choices that are just MIA are kind of disappointing. However, from the minigames that are in the game, I would have to say that I enjoy 82 out of the total of 105. Here is a list of the minigames that I enjoy, with some of the main ones being Facelift, Shy Guy Says, Eats a Pizza, Book Squirm, Dungeon Duos, and Rapid River Race, amongst others. Now, here's a list of the minigames that I don't enjoy, with some of them being Piranha's Pursuit, Honeycomb Havoc, Bill Blasters, and Flash Forward. The ones that I don't enjoy either have to deal with being unfair towards one side, taking longer than a minigame really should take, or just overall being pretty boring. And even though they don't have minigames from the later games such as Lift Leapers and Control Stick from Mario Party 6, Track and Yield and Fun Run from Mario Party 7, Mosh Pit Playroom and King of the Thrill from Mario Party 8, Peak Precision and Magma Mayhem from Mario Party 9, and lastly, Fool Me Once and Bouncy Brawl from Mario Party 10, they did have a good variety of games, even though some of them could have just not been added and changed, and that would have been even better. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to the boards, starting with Yoshi's Tropical Island. Putting aside how often this board has made getting stars difficult for me personally, I think this was a really good addition. It was in my top 2 or 3 boards for Mario Party 1, and I was honestly really stoked to see that it was coming to Superstars. They added an item store to it, which, if you're on that side, it's a really big help, and it gives each side its own reason to be on it. The left one has an item store and Koopa, who will give you 10 coins when you pass him, and then the right side has Boo, and just a lot more unique spaces. While yes, the left side does have its fair share of lucky spaces and the versus spaces, the right side just has more item spaces, it has the chance time, it has, the versus spaces, it just feels like it has more over there. So yeah, I think Yoshi's Tropical Island was a good choice, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Now, moving on to the other Mario Party 1 board, we have Peach's Birthday Cake. Now, if you saw my reaction when this board was first announced, you would know that I really wasn't too excited for it. And that's honestly because I just never really liked it in the past. However, there have been some needed improvements. The event spaces now allow you to get piranha plants that take both coins or stars instead of just stars. They included an item store, and we have a space that allows you to skip the Goomba and go back to the start to get 10 coins from Koopa faster and potentially get back to the star faster. However, there are some things that do suck about the board as well. For instance, they moved the Goomba to after the star, which would have been fine if they made Bowser scarier than he is. In Bowser's section, he has both really good spaces, and he doesn't take nearly as many coins as he should to make you not want to go on that path, and it's just a glorified shortcut back to the star. There are some changes that could have been made to Peach's birthday cake to make it really good. And even though the board has its flaws, it still has good parts. And I don't hate it when it comes up to play, so I'm going to be giving Peach's birthday cake a 3.5 out of 5. The next board that we have is Spaceland. This was one of the two boards that I really wanted to come back from Mario Party 2, and I got my wish. It's a big board that has a good amount of different paths with hidden ones that can give you some goodies like Boo and even Chance Time. They even kept the big laser that steals everyone's coins that's in his path, and I'm really glad that they didn't nerf it to make it only take like half of the coins or just something that isn't all of them. Knowing ND Cube, it wouldn't have shocked me if they made it to take like half of the coins or something like that, but I'm still just glad that they didn't. The one thing though that does hold the board back a little bit is when you set up the Sniffit Patrol and get sent back to either the top right or bottom left of the map, it doesn't put you on a different path. Instead, it keeps you on the same path, just making it a little more difficult to get out of that path if you're on the left side. The right side has an easy escape route. Now the left side does have an escape route, but you need a key for it, and yes, even though keys are cheap, it just would have been nice to have an easy escape route on both sides, or if the Snippet Patrol just brought you to the same places that they did back in the Mario Party 2 days. However, even with those small nitpicks, Spaceland is going to get a 4.5 out of 5 from me. Up next, we have Horrorland. Coincidentally enough, this was the other board that I really wanted for Mario Party 2. Now I will say, before being able to play it, I was a little wary about it because of the amount of lucky spaces that were shown to be on the board. I will say though, after playing the board a good amount of times, they don't really bother me at all. The other issue that I was a little wary about when playing the board early on was the fact that the left side of the map, you have two ways that can be blocked by the wall. Only the left side has a star location, while in Mario Party 2, both sides had a star on each path. While yes, the right side does have the two boos, if you don't have enough money, why would you bother going that way when all you're going to be really doing is just opening it up for everybody else to go through? Well, I can say that recently I have seen the right side of that path used really well, and it's no longer a concern for me anymore. And of course, you know, you have the big boo that takes coins or stars from everybody, you have the specific boos that are available in the day, the ones that are available at night, and you just overall have a bunch of really crazy and good things on the map. I loved the board back in the day, and after seeing things that I thought would both help and hinder it, I gotta say, I'm gonna be giving Horrorland a 5 out of 5. And the last board that we have is Woody Woods. Personally, I wanted Spiny Desert, but I'm just gonna have hope that we're gonna be getting some kind of DLC that may bring the board here for me. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then that's, oh well. It'll be a little disappointing, but it won't bother me. Now, going back to Woody Woods. The board is a little interesting because every turn, the three signs change the direction that you can move when you pass them. You got one in the center, one on the left, and one on the right. This seemed to bother some people, but it never really bothered me when I played it back in the day, and it still doesn't bother me now. In fact, if you've watched me, you'll see that sometimes I embrace the chaos that something like that can bring. Also, they made the right path a little more accessible with switching the way that the key door at the very beginning of the map goes. So now instead of coming from the right side of the map to the beginning of the map, it's now the opposite way, and you can go from the beginning of the map to the rest of the right side of the map towards the back. Also, with both the Woody and Evil Woody event spaces, you can choose exactly which fruit that you want to eat. So if you want to get an extra dice or gain a little bit of money with Woody, you can do that. Or if you basically want a reverse dice or to lose a little bit of money with Evil Woody, the choice is yours to make. If you can get past the rotating signs that go off every turn, then I believe that this board is really good. So I'm going to be giving it a 4.5 out of 5. One last thing about the boards before we move on to the items, I do want to quickly say that the game having 5 boards doesn't bother me. Most Mario parties start with 5 with having 1 extra unlockable board. And honestly, having 5 good sized boards rather than 4 small ones is a big improvement in my eyes. Alright, now let's get on to the items. So the items that we can buy from Mario Party Superstars are the Skeleton Key, Mushroom, First Dice Block, Double Dice, Chop Call, Warp Block, and Custom Dice Block for the most part, with the Triple Dice, Golden Pipe, and Hidden Block card being added in the second half of the game depending on the board that you're going to be playing with. And also the Plunder Chest is only available in the leftmost shop in Woody Woods. We also have special items that can only be gotten from item minigames if you're in 3rd or 4th place, I believe, in the last 5 turns if you are the one that is chosen, or from an item bag. And those are the Boo Bell, Dueling Glove, Super Warp Block, and Double Star Card. Overall, the items are pretty good. The item prices, though, are a little too cheap for some, like the Key, the Mushroom, and the Curse Room being 3 coins. I think personally they should start at 5. And of course we have the Hidden Block that's 40 coins when it doesn't even guarantee a star. I think that should be like 30 coins max if it's not going to guarantee a star or have a high chance of a star. Although aside from the small complaints that I have, I still think that the items are pretty good, so I'm going to be giving the item section an 8.5 out of 10. If there were a couple more items and a couple price changes, then honestly, it probably would have been a 10 out of 10, but I still think they did really good. Now let's move on to the last topic, just being the overall experience that Mario Party Superstars gives you. First off, we're going to be starting with the online, and from what I have seen and played, the online works pretty good. A hell of a lot better than I thought it would have. I've only had disconnections with certain people, or on specific days when like my internet is kind of like lagging out or just not working the best, so that's more on us than it is the game. Yes, there are some times that when playing with other people that there is a little bit of lag, however the lag usually doesn't ruin the experience. Also, we have the stickers, the songs, and just everything in the data house, like the Mario Party card, the achievements, the online leaderboards, the pictures of the last game that you played on each board that just gives the game a lot more life to it. Then we also have Mount Minigames, and there's a decent amount to do there. You got the sports and puzzle minigames that aren't on the boards, you got survival, you got the 1v3 and 2v2 specific modes, you got the coin mode. There's just a lot to do there. And even a few of these are available online as well. We also have something that I think was a deal breaker for some, and that's the fact that we only have 10 characters that we can choose from. I will say though, 10 is perfectly fine with me. I knew that when we were getting this game, we were not getting 20 characters like we did from Super Mario Party. Especially since a majority of those characters that you could use in Super Mario Party are being used for mini games, they're part of the boards, and some are part of spaces just like Bowser. So for me personally, 10 is a fine number since they don't have anything specific about them that makes them a better or worse choice like the characters in Super Mario Party does with the character dice blocks. And the last thing that we need to talk about is the lack of a single player. Yes, I wish there was one, but unfortunately, they didn't add one that works like the island from Mario Party 1 or the roller coaster from Mario Party 2. So out of the 20 points that I can give this section, I'm going to be giving it an 18 out of 20. With the main thing keeping it from getting the 20 is that there's no single player specific mode to play the minigames, or just a story mode in general. So with all of that figured out, the total score is 135 out of 160 points, which turns it into an 8.4 out of 10. Personally, if I didn't do it this way, I probably would have given it a 9 out of 10. So that does show that bias does help potentially change what you may think about a game. And while they tried to do a game like this in the past with the top 100, they ultimately failed there, but succeeded here, which gives me hope that they are heading in the right direction again with the Mario Party series.